What you got? Great defense tonight. Great defense. The last 3 quarters, we held them to single digits. We weren't trying to press at the end or run. I was able to rotate all 11 kids in. They did an excellent job. We shared the basketball. 22 assists, and I thought that was the difference. Everything we were running was working. And how many times can you go into half with Kennedy 1 for 9 and Kayla 1 for 2? But sometimes Chambria was left wide open. And as long as you're into the flow of the offense and you have the confidence level that a senior has, let it fly. And that really helped her confidence, and it helped the rest of the team, because that might open up our post players more when we're playing other teams, because they're going to have to guard Chambria a little bit better than they did tonight. Questions?
Where did that pressure defense in the fourth quarter? You're still forcing a lot of turnovers, where a lot of times, whether it's your team backs off not as aggressive, was it just a good matchup, or did you just decide to play?
It was a good matchup. Starkey did a great job preparing us. The practice that we had on Saturday, it looked like we were 1-13. That's how hard we worked them on the defense, and it responded because they showed up tonight. We took it a little bit easier on Sunday, but our workout on the defensive end was outstanding on Saturday after a day off from Arkansas. Hey, Ole Miss is a lot better than they played tonight, but we played pretty doggone good. Tonight it was more us. We'll give you this stat later, but I think it was about 20 times that they were down to 1, 2, or 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and they just had to throw it up because they couldn't create off the bounce to be able to get the shot that they wanted. And I just say that's just great defense, and to us, we shared the ball very well. Anything?
You covered it.
Coach,
You got to earn your money now.
is this going to be kind of the recipe for success on Thursday against LSU, or we need to change anything?
Yes. Change how we played LSU. We've lost 2 on the road. We had 2 at home the last 2 years. But remember, we were down at half last year to them here. We were down at half after 3 quarters to Ole Miss at their place. So sometimes that button doesn't come on all the time. It didn't come on for Houston in football the other night, but when it came on, they found a way. When you got a veteran team like we have, they can handle accountability and responsibility. And that's the best thing we've done all year, is when we have adversity or we're having a bad shooting night, we find a way to get it done. And I was just as proud of Kendi Carter for what she did running the show today with 8 assists. She doesn't need to score 28. She's just as happy. That's what all Americans do. They find other people into their offense, and she works extremely well with Sierra under there. Between the 2 of them, they just have that knack of working together. That's Kellen Mond and Osmond. Okay. I think they're roommates too. They work very well together when they're on the same page.
So Chambria said early in the season, y'all were letting teams hang around early, and that's a difference now in terms of kind of putting a foot down. Do you agree?
Putting a foot down that we have to, but we didn't put a foot down against Arkansas. We just survived against a top 20 team. And you saw what Arkansas did. She's building at Ole Miss. She's got the top recruiting class in the SEC next year coming in. How many times do you do that from the bottom to have the top class? I can never remember in any league I've ever coached. From the bottom to the first in a recruiting class, give Yolette a lot of credit. I think that guy that hired her did pretty good on hiring that kid, because she's going to be a pretty good. Who was that guy? That's him, right back there in the blue suit. But she's a good lady, and she just went through a loss this weekend that she had to come from a funeral, I think in the Dallas area where it was, and that was tough for her to coach this game. because I think the wake or the funeral was yesterday. So that's tough on a head coach. It's tough on a human being. But your lad is special. Any other questions?
You got all 11 in today, Coach. I know it looked good today, but how confident are you in the second unit coming in and playing some key minutes as the SEC season?
Well, at halftime, I mentioned y'all played 23 and a half minutes and had 3 rebounds and hadn't done much else. I challenged them to add. I told Anna, play fearlessly. I don't care if you foul or whatever, but just start knocking people over to get the confidence that you can play. Whitsitt has always done a good job for us. But Wilson was special. Jazz Williams was special. Jackson is my defensive stopper when she comes in. Those kids bring it every day in practice. Every day. The emotional leader out of that whole group is Jazz Williams. I mean, she's like a coach out there. She knows everybody's position. She's got that loud voice. She ought to be the first female yell leader here because she could get people excited.